Ron Siegel Radio, your home and mortgage connection.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
And hello again. Welcome to Ron Siegel Radio. This is the show with no real boundaries as we discuss current events, financial markets, politics, sports, even poking fun at the rest of the media. This is the show that connects the dots of confusion delivered by conflicting media reports. We connect the dots so you know the actions you can take, how your family or business can benefit in current events. Most of all, thank you for joining me. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day. We have a very focused show. We only chat about items that affect the roof over your head, your bank account, and anything I feel would benefit you. But before we get into our intriguing content today, please join me in welcoming our featured guest, first timer on Ron Siegel Radio. I think I've got it here. There we go. Michelle Reese-Johnson, Ameristate Legal. Welcome.
Thank you, Ron. Great to be here.
Glad to have you with us. And let me remind you, if you ever have any home or finance related questions, I am the consumer advocate looking out for you. And you can reach out to me directly, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. Just remember, that's the number you call anytime for assistance. When you call that number, it comes directly to me first. There are operators standing by.
Quiet, numbskulls. I'm broadcasting.
Well, I do have a great team when it comes to building a financing plan, a plan to save you money. I personally work with you. Even if you don't have any needs today, save this number in your phone for future reference. 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. And yes, of course, we are celebrating today. We celebrate every day on Ron Siegel Radio. National Prosecco Day. I don't know. I'm just going to say
it is what it is.
You're a Prosecco fan? I'm not a big Prosecco fan. Give me some red wine. I don't care that it's hot out. Give me some Merlot, a Zinfandel. You know, I'm not drinking the wine because of the temperature. I'm drinking it because I enjoy it. So Prosecco, not a fan. I'm not a big fan of the Chablis and Chardonnays. And, you know, and I don't care about the pairing. You know, pair it, my glass and my stomach. That's where it pairs, not with the food or any of that other stuff. Just throw that out there. And we're also celebrating. Now, this is a good one. I can't do too much of this one. Today, it's a rare day on Ron Siegel Radio. That is a pun intended. And I think I've got that. Today's National Filet Mignon Day. Get it? Rare day, National Filet. Okay. Question of the day. What is your favorite cut of steak? And how do you like it cooked? Okay, Michelle, jump in on this one. Are you a steak enjoyer or liker?
I am.
Okay.
We are definitely meat eaters in my family.
Okay. What's your favorite cut?
Ribeye.
Okay. You know, that's I was on a call early this morning and I said the same thing. Give me the ribeye. Medium rare to rare. I don't want the blood coming out of it, and I don't like shoe leather.
Right.
And if you throw some garlic or some blue cheese garlic butter.
Oh, yeah, Ron.
Right? Put
you
that right
and
on
I
top.
are forever connected on that.
That's the way to do it. Now, I can't eat too much red meat anymore. My gout doesn't like it. But, you know, I'll get the bride to get a steak, and I'll have a few bites of it. And so what is your favorite? Put it in the chat. We're looking. If you're watching us, if you're listening to us live on radio, now we record the programs at about 9 o'clock in the morning here on the West Coast. And I know there's a lot of people on our social channels right now. But if you're one of those that are catching us on the live broadcast, on the radio broadcast, do this. Just yell at the radio because I'll hear you. I have got supersonic hearing, and I will hear if you yell at the radio. But if not, if you're watching us right now, put it in the chat. What is your favorite cut of steak, and how do you like it cooked? Now, when I go to a restaurant, I do cause a little bit of trouble. It's just my way. So I'll walk into the restaurant, and they ask how I want my steak cooked. I said, on an open fire. Would that be okay? And usually the waitress or waiter will look at me like I'm a lunatic. My wife also looks at me like I'm a lunatic. Of course, I guess most people do. But that's a whole different story. So, question of the day, we've got it on there. Cut a steak. How do you cook it? Okay, let's see what the markets are doing today, because we do talk finance on the broadcast. The Dow Jones Industrial Average is up 375 points right now. And we can say, yeah. We've got the NASDAQ it's only up 14. We've got the S&P 500 is up 12 and a half. And the all-important, we got another good one. Oil's down $1.03 a barrel. So, I like when oil prices go down just because I'm rooting for the rest of the country. I know I live in California and we don't get to take advantage of these things. Thanks, Gavin. Our prices on gasoline still way too high. Now, if you remember, we took away the taxing authority as Californians. We took away the taxing authority from the state. They got to go to the people to get taxing authority. So what do? They call it a fee. So that's how they get around the idea of taxes and fees. We're still, even with oil at this low number, $4.50 a gallon of gasoline. And I'm betting, and I haven't looked yet, but I am betting, and I'm right, that we are the highest priced gasoline in the country. We're even higher than the oil producing state. No, they don't produce oil, of Hawaii. They probably get their gas from California. It's probably shipped over to Hawaii, and they still pay 2 cents a gallon less than we do. You gotta love it. Now in America, Josh is paying $3, $3.40, Josh, give or take. He's not in Calizuela like the rest of us. But Gavin's got to have money for all of his lawsuits. I mean, have you seen? I think that our attorney general, our state attorney general, does he do anything other than file lawsuits against the federal government? Did you hear the latest? Okay, so the gerrymandered state of California is upset that Texas is going to do the same thing that California has already done. Can you understand that one? I just don't get it. I mean, I understand Gavin Newsom.
Such an idiot.
Yes, I know. But ironic that they're going to start a new process. Now, once again, the wise people of the state of California took the authority away from Gavin Newsom and the legislature. So when they want to go and do all this new gerrymandering that Gavin's claiming he's going to do, because he knows that Trump is worried about him. And, just like the guy in New York, have you heard that one? The communist in New York, Mamdani, who is running for mayor. He'll probably be the next mayor of New York City. He wants to make their supermarkets all city-owned. Think about that concept. How's that doing for you in Kansas right now, where they just shut them down? But I digress. So these guys are saying, well, Trump is worried about Mamdani, the guy that's never been elected. I was worried about Newsom. Yet he ends the war between Armenia and Azerbaijan, and he's going to go meet with Putin on Friday. And Newsom thinks that he's the biggest problem on Trump's plate right now. You just got to wonder about some of these things, don't you? Yet about 30% of California's money still comes from the federal government. Now, I don't know about you, but if I know 30% of my money is coming from one location, do I want to get them mad at me? I just, you got to wonder about this sometimes.
I got a bad feeling about this.
Not that President Trump would be vindictive or anything, would he? Of course he would. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. When we come back, let's talk about your estate plan, because whether you know it or not, you have one. The question is, did you make the decision, or is Gavin going to make it for you? And are these myths about buying a newly built home holding you back? All that and more. Reach me anytime. Off-air number, 800-306-1990. 800-306-1990 or RonSiegelRadio.com, Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you missed any part of our broadcast, shame on you. But the replay is available. Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube, Ron Siegel, the numeral 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Ron Siegel Radio. Your home and mortgage connection.
Is your credit score over 800? Are you living in the home of your dreams or simply where you think you can afford?
Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey, and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564. Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? Is your credit score over 800? Are you living in the home of your dreams or simply where you think you can afford? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey, and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
Confused about the home buying process? Or curious how much you really know about buying a home? Take the First Home IQ quiz to test your understanding of buying a home. Created by the nonprofit First Home IQ, this 5-minute quiz will give you a score, what you missed, and why. Take the quiz in 5 minutes at rsrlinks.com/FHIQ and find out what you need to know about buying your first home. That's rsrlinks.com/FHIQ.
Are you a renter and tired of making monthly payments? Paying off someone else's mortgage? Hey, it's Ron Siegel here to help you stop renting and start owning your dream home with amazing low interest rates. And you could potentially qualify for a $500,000 home for less than $5,000 out of pocket. So stop renting. Start owning with Ron Siegel. Learn more at ronsiegelradio.com and start owning today. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender.
Are you like many of your neighbors trying to figure out how to pay off your debts so you can retire someday? Build bigger savings. Invest in opportunities. Visit rsrnodebt.com. Debt will destroy 50% of Americans from being able to retire earlier and with more. What if you could have a guaranteed program that could show you how to eliminate all of your debt in 10 years or less, all without having to spend more each month than you spend right now? Yes, that's correct. All without spending more from your checkbook each month than you are today. Get your free analysis today to see if you qualify. Visit rsrnodebt.com. Log on today for your free analysis, rsrnodebt.com. No purchase necessary. The free analysis takes only 2 minutes. rsrnodebt.com. Ron Siegel Radio is your home and mortgage connection. Go to rsrnodebt.com. rsrnodebt.com.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The Mortgage Minute today being brought to you by rsrlinks.com/mobile app, rsrlinks.com/mobile app. And every day at this time, OBMMI, they provide the most comprehensive, accurate, timely, and interactive analysis of pricing ever conducted in the mortgage industry, calculated from actual locked rates with consumers across 35% of all mortgage transactions nationwide. They do not tell us points paid, points received, or the APR. They tell us the number you're going to put in the mortgage calculator to figure out what your principal and interest payment will be. If you don't have a mortgage calculator, once again, shame on you, because we give it to you for free. You know, we give all kinds of things away for free on Ron Siegel Radio. Yet I still have people call me and say, you know, can you figure this out for me? I have no problem figuring it out. I've done it so many times, and I've got 17 different programs that are always on my computer with all this data. But if you can't get a hold of me, which is rare, you know, why don't you have it on your computer? rsrlinks.com/mobile app, rsrlinks.com/mobile app. You can get that mortgage calculator right there for free. Let's see what rates did yesterday. I think that's where I started this conversation. And like I said, they don't tell us the points paid, points received, but looks like it was an ugly day yesterday. Almost all the rates were up. Conventional 30-year fix, 6.602. Jumbo 30-year fix, 6.692. FHA 30-year fix, 6.371. VA 30-year fix, 6.169. Every one of those were up. The only one that was down, now this is kind of ironic. Josh, you must have had to redo all these pictures from yesterday because they were all the exact opposite. Yesterday, the first four were down. Today, the first four are up. The last one is down. That is the USDA loan. And that USDA loan, if I can find it on my screen here, is 6.368. Again, the only one of all of them that was up yesterday. And each morning I do put out a market commentary. If you go to rsrlinks.com/HBOD, rsrlinks.com/HBOD. If you are a regular listener of Ron Siegel Radio, you understand that I am a firm believer of your household board of directors. And I can almost remember the acronym, HBOD. So rsrlinks.com/HBOD, we do put up our thoughts about the market each business day morning as early as the data allows. And one of the things about today and today's data is, well, the economic calendar, if I look at it, it's just about blank. There's nothing of any importance on there other than the fact that Fed members are out talking. Barkin, Goolsby, and Bostic are out there chatting today. So we'll see what they have to say. But what's driving the market right now, and I should tell you that the S&P 500 is now up 13.57. The 10-year Treasury, it's down almost 6 basis points. That's on the yield, the rate. Now, remember, we talk about the rate or the yield on the 10-year Treasury. We talk about the bond itself on mortgage bonds. The mortgage bonds are up 24 basis points, and that's a good thing. When the bond goes up, that means rates are going down. So that 30-year mortgage bond is up 24 basis points, which means interest rates, if it holds, should be down today. And there's not a lot of news. So what's driving it? Well, that all comes from our Treasury Secretary, Scott Bessent. He spoke yesterday and said that the Fed should be considering a 50 basis point cut at the September meeting. It's unclear if other Fed members like Waller and Bowman, who wanted to cut at the last meeting, may also be in favor as a catch-up. Remember, those guys were dissenters at the last meeting. They thought they should have cut then, and they were right. We told you they should have been cutting then, and we were right. And 2 days later, we get the jobs report saying that they had to revise the numbers from the prior months, proving that we were right, saying that they are overstated. Fed futures only pricing in a 3% chance of a 50 basis point cut, but a 25 basis point cut is like 99% chance. So we're watching all of those things for you. And again, there's not a whole lot of activity in the market, but you know, and some people are going to laugh at me when I say this because I do get referred to as a fan of the president. Yeah, I do like what he's doing. I think the way he communicates sucks. That's just my opinion. And again, I'm right. So Bessent going out and talking about the idea of a 50 basis point cut, he does it in a respectful manner. My personal opinion is if you're respectful, people are going to hear you. If I was the president, if I was Jerome Powell, there's no way in hell I'd be doing anything that the president wanted the way the president disrespects him all the time. Now, I'm just a local guy doing radio. I can tell you what I think about Powell. You know what I think about Powell.
Such an
idiot. He was late before. He told us inflation was transitory, and it wasn't. He didn't raise rates back then to bring it down. He cut rates right before the election. Surprise, surprise, surprise.
Surprise, surprise.
And now he's doing nothing and sitting on his hands as the economy weakens. So, he's always been wrong, but if you're the president of the United States, show a little respect. Just my opinion. So that's the Mortgage Minute brought to you by our friends at rsrlinks.com/mobile app. Got you there, Josh. rsrlinks.com/mobile app. So let's chat about this. We've got Michelle Reese-Johnson, Ameristate Legal Plan, is with us. And welcome.
Thank you.
And so, Michelle, I tell everybody, and I've been doing this on radio since 2010, that every one of us are going to die. I think that's a pretty safe bet. And we all have an estate plan. The
Mhm.
question is, are we going to use the one that's in place by the federal or by the state government and federal government, or are we going to call somebody like your team and get something done that we want?
Mhm.
Am I right there?
You're absolutely right.
Okay, so give me an idea what about estate planning. Is it a hard, complex thing? Why are people so hesitant to do it?
Well, I think the most popular plan is the do nothing plan because
Okay.
people are afraid if they start thinking about this, they're going to die.
Okay.
Really, a lot of people put it off because they're afraid of it. And
It's tough conversations to have.
yeah, and they're they think that it's really complicated. They think, "Oh my God, I got to dig into my file cabinets and get on my bills and all my financial accounts and see what my mortgage is." And there's so much to think about to even start the process, and that is so not true. What most people need to do is like, okay, no, put all that aside. We don't need all that information right now. We need to know who your guardians of your children are going to be. We need you to think through the process of who do you want to receive your assets? What's your percentage of, like, you have a couple kids, is it going to be 50-50? Or do you want to give something to grandkids? Who's going to be in charge if you become incapacitated or pass away? Calling it a successor trustee or an executor. Who's going to be in charge of your healthcare decisions if you can, and also your financial management. These are the things you need to think about. That's it. That's all we want.
You know something? I started getting up. I get up very, very early every morning to get ready for the radio show. And I heard this morning that there was a SIG alert.
Mm-hmm.
My bet is that somebody didn't get up this morning when they left their house or apartment or whatever, thinking that they were going to have a major accident on the freeway.
Mm-hmm.
And, somebody might need that medical power of attorney today.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
And the accidents that happen on a freeway are not limited to somebody that's 90 years or over, or, it could be it could be anybody.
Anybody. As long as you're 18, you need an estate plan. Did you know that?
18.
18.
Okay. So you got to start early.
You got to start early on this thing.
So you don't have to have a lot of assets then to start.
You don't need any assets. Now, when I talk about you need an estate plan, when you're 18, an estate plan for you means your powers of attorney for health and finance, which includes your healthcare directive, which is your kind of decisions on end of life. That's all you need really when you're 18, because you are now an adult. And I find most parents whose kids are getting ready for college, they have no clue that they should be setting this up for their young adults, period.
Yeah, that's kind of an interesting thought, because I've experienced it. I've got a 31-year-old. I've got 3 kids all in their 30s,
Mm-hmm.
but one of them always wants his mom and I to make the decisions for him. And there's a lot of times we go to doctors and they say, well, something, he's got to sign this paperwork. He's 18.
Right.
He's over 18, I should say. So
He's 18 or over.
Yeah.
The day you become 18, your parents cannot be involved in any decisions for you anymore.
And I think a lot of people just have no idea about that part.
They don't think about it. They think, oh, estate planning is for people who are in their, if you're 50 or 60 and up, that's when you need to start thinking about doing an estate plan. Powers of attorney aren't really an estate plan, but I describe it that way to get people's ears to kind of listen, because what do you mean an 18-year-old needs an estate plan? I've seen it happen where 18-year-olds get in car accidents, and I was involved in one with my best friends whose daughter rolled her car driving home from Lake Havasu, and she had nothing in place, and her mom was calling me like, oh my gosh, I can't get Stephanie's car out of the tow yard. It's $100 a day because they won't let me. I don't have her power of attorney for finance. And so every day that went by, it was $100, $100. And so, of course, I ran over to the hospital. Oh, and the hospitals wouldn't talk to her either. She's out in some podunk place in the desert. And they're like, sorry, we can't talk to you about your daughter. No, we're not giving you any information. She was freaking out.
So. Yeah, and I would too. I mean, if my kids were injured or something like that, you're going to be Oh, you got a fan watching. Ooh. Scott Pringle said to say hi to you.
Hi, Scott.
Okay, so we're we glad to have you with us, Scott. I hope you tune in more often. But when we come back, I want to talk about what I think is one of the best gifts ever. Right? I mean, and I think that a lot of people think about their estate plan in the wrong way. And I think it's probably the best gift we can give to anybody that we really love. We're going to continue this conversation with Michelle when we come back. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate current events and the financial markets. You can reach me anytime. Our off-air number, it's 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, at ronsiegelradio.com, facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube, Ron Siegel, the numeral 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Ron Siegel Radio. Your home and mortgage connection.
Is your credit score over 800? Are you living in the home of your dreams or simply where you think you can afford? Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey, and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564. Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? Is your credit score over 800? Are you living in the home of your dreams or simply where you think you can afford? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey, and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
Confused about the home buying process? Or curious how much you really know about buying a home? Take the first Home IQ quiz to test your understanding of buying a home. Created by the nonprofit First Home IQ, this 5-minute quiz will give you a score, what you missed, and why. Take the quiz in 5 minutes at rsrlinks.com/FHIQ and find out what you need to know about buying your first home. That's rsrlinks.com/FHIQ.
Are you paying rent because you cannot afford to live in your dream home? Are you paying rent because you don't believe you have the down payment funds to purchase your own home? At Siegel Lending Team at ronismylender.com has up to $25,000 to help qualified people purchase their own home at amazing interest rates. Contact the Siegel Lending Team today at ronismylender.com. Again, ronismylender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037. ronismylender.com.
Are you like many of your neighbors trying to figure out how to pay off your debts so you can retire someday? Build bigger savings. Invest in opportunities. Visit rsrnodebt.com. Debt will destroy 50% of Americans from being able to retire earlier and with more. What if you could have a guaranteed program that could show you how to eliminate all of your debt in 10 years or less, all without having to spend more each month than you spend right now? Yes, that's correct. All without spending more from your checkbook each month than you are today. Get your free analysis today to see if you qualify. Visit rsrnodebt.com. Log on today for your free analysis, rsrnodebt.com. No purchase necessary. The free analysis takes only 2 minutes. rsrnodebt.com. Ron Siegel Radio is your home and mortgage connection. Go to rsrnodebt.com. rsrnodebt.com.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, the real-time real estate segment today being brought to you by rsrmoney.com, rsrmoney.com. Are these myths about buying a newly built home holding you back? If you've been skipping over newly built homes in your search, you might be doing so based on outdated assumptions. Let's clear up a few of the most common myths so you don't miss out on a solid opportunity. Myth number 1, new homes are more expensive. It's easy to assume a new build will cost more than an existing home, but that's not necessarily true, especially right now. Data from Census and the National Association of Realtors, NAR, shows the median price of a newly built home today is actually lower than a home that's been lived in already, an existing home. If you're watching us on RonSiegelRadio.tv, any of our socials, or the ABC News and Talk, AM 1490 and FM 98.1 video feed, you are seeing a chart that shows new homes cost $30,000 less than existing homes. So why is this happening? As Heather Long, chief economist at Navy Federal Credit Union, explains, quote, this largely reflects two trends. New homes are getting smaller on average, and builders are doing more price cuts, unquote. If you've ruled out construction based on price alone, it's time to take another look. Talk to your local real estate agent to see what's available and at what price points. Did you notice I said talk to your local real estate agent? I did not say go talk to the builder. They are there as a salesperson looking out for the better interest of the builder. The real estate agent is looking out for you. You are paying them. When you go to the builder, what you want to do is either have your agent with you. If you have your certified buyer pass that we do for you, and it goes right in your Apple Wallet, you hold up your phone, show it to the sales agent and say, I am being represented by whoever your agent is. And you show that to them so that they put them down so they will communicate with them. And oh, by the way, the builder then pays them. Let's go to myth number 2. Many buyers assume builders aren't going to play ball when it comes to time to negotiate. But that's not the case. A number of builders are sitting on finished inventory. They want to sell quickly, and that makes them more open to compromising. Mark Fleming, chief economist at First American, explains a builder, quote, would love to sell you the home because they're not living in it. It costs money not to sell the home. And many of the public homes builders have said in their earnings calls that they are not going to be pulling back on incentives, especially the mortgage rate buy down. Oh, did you hear about the buy down? We've told you about that. rsrlinks.com/buy down. rsrlinks.com/buy down. That means you may find builders more flexible than individual sellers and more motivated to toss in incentives to get the deal done. According to Zonda, 75% of new home communities offered incentives on new homes considered quick move-ins in June. Myth number 3, they don't build them like they used to. Some people think newer homes lack the craftsmanship of older ones, but here's a reality check. Quality can vary in any area, and using a reputable builder matters more than the build date. According to the National Association of Home Builders, a good way to gauge quality is by talking to buyers who have purchased from that builder recently. In an article, National Association of Home Builders explains, quote, any high-quality builder should be ready to provide you with the names and phone numbers of satisfied clients. If they cannot, consider that a red flag and walk away, unquote. The article suggests asking those buyers questions like, did the builder meet their expectations? Would you use that same builder if you were to do it again? But you can also ask your agent about the builder's reputation. Generally, agents know about the builders active in your area and may even have experience with past clients who have bought a home in one of that builder's communities. Myth number 4, you don't need your own real estate agent. This might be the biggest myth of all. The truth is, when you buy a brand new home, using your own agent is even more important. Builder contracts have different fine print, and you'll want a pro on your side who can really explain what you're signing and advocate for your best interests. These stats seem to prove that's the case. In a Realtor.com survey, buyers who purchased a newly built home rated their agents far more helpful than the builder or the builder's representative during the process. Does that surprise you at all? I mean, we've talked about this many times.
Surprise, surprise, surprise.
And again, you're seeing that chart right there that recent buyers of homes say their agents were more helpful. Here's another pro tip. Go have a home inspection done 11 months after you close escrow. Why do you say 11 months after, Ron? Because most new homes have a 12-month warranty. If you have a home inspection done in month 11, they might find some things that you should be having the inspector, the warranty take care of. Just throw that out there for you. Bottom line, don't let misconceptions keep you from exploring one of the most promising options in today's housing market. Whether you're curious about what's being built nearby or wondering if a new home fits your budget, let's connect and take a closer look. You might be surprised by what's out there. That is the Real-Time Real Estate segment, brought to you by rsrmoney.com, rsrmoney.com. let's continue our conversation. Michelle Reese-Johnson is with us, and we're talking about what I call one of the best gifts you can ever give to your family. And, you know, we haven't figured it out. I mean, even George Burns, he tried, but he couldn't figure out how to escape death. We're all going to get there someday. We hope for you and everyone else we know that it's not for a long, long time, long and healthy. But you just don't know what's happening. And if you've got this trust in place, you've taken care of something that, you know, your family, it's indispensable for your family. It's a gift to your family. And, you know, when something happens to you, you know, they've got all kinds of things on their mind. If you've got your affairs in order, regardless of whether you're 18 or 88, it's a big gift. So let's talk more about it. And let's get into some of the nitty gritty with Michelle. She's the expert on it. I'm just the bloviator here. So trust versus will, Michelle, give me an idea. Is there a difference? Do I need one? Do I need the other? Do I need both? Give me an idea.
You know, a lot of people think a will is just going to do it. But there's definitely factors. Not everybody needs a living trust. Okay. So that's the first thing I want you to know. But you do if you have certain types of assets and situations going on in your life. Let's talk about that. If you own real estate, that's the number one reason to get a trust. And most people that maybe you're in contact with, you're in the mortgage business, they're looking to buy a house or they have a house. So you have minor children. You need a trust. The reason being is you don't want to put minor children on as beneficiaries on your life insurance, your IRAs, your bank accounts. Most people think, well, why not? Because they're minors. And if you pass away and they're a minor, they cannot receive that money, and it's going to have to go through the courts, and you're going to have a conservatorship oversee their money. Okay. So,
and also on the house, because you said about the insurance and retirement accounts.
Yeah.
But they can't sell your house if it's a minor. Right? They can't get into a contract.
If the minors are going to be the ones receiving your assets, they're minors. They can't. Okay. So if you have minor children, don't put them on as beneficiaries. You need a living trust, and then you will put the living trust on as the beneficiary to your bank account and your IRA. If you're single, if you're married, you have your wife or husband first, and then, you know, same with 401ks. But the moral here is just don't put children on if they're under 18 as beneficiaries on financial accounts, bank accounts, and houses. We had somebody put their minor child on, put them on title to their property. Guess what? They couldn't get them off because the kid isn't old enough to sign off so she could refinance the house.
Wow.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And the minor kid, you might have a 12-year-old that now owns a house.
Exactly.
And how are they going to make the mortgage payment?
Right.
Right. I mean,
yeah. And they want to refinance you can put anybody on title you want. Nobody's stopping you.
and that's why you really want to
try to take them off.
You want to make sure that you've got professional guidance on this.
You need it. Yeah. Don't just, the number one estate plan out there that most people do is the do nothing plan.
Right. Okay.
Okay. That's the do nothing plan. We can.
And many of us are good at that.
Yeah. We're really, most of us are excellent at doing nothing. And what happens when you do nothing? Well, then you become incapacitated or you pass away. It's hell for your family because you haven't done anything. The second most common estate plan is throwing people on title to your stuff. Oh my gosh, I better put my husband passed away, so I better put my son on title to the house now and all my bank accounts. Because if I die, I want to make sure Junior will be on there and nothing will go through probate. And he's going to share everything with the rest of the 4 siblings.
Oh, I'm sure that's going to go over real well.
Right. So, but that is a very common.
Now, let me ask you this question, and I don't know, maybe it's good or bad, but I've had success with having one of the beneficiaries on maybe one account with a parent or, not all their accounts and things, but one account just so that they have access to some funds in an emergency. Is that good or bad?
That's just fine. Just make
Okay.
sure it's not the big account.
Okay.
You know, if you want to throw somebody on title or put somebody on title as a joint owner on a bank account, that is more of the paying the bills type of account, or put them on as a signer on the bank account, not an owner, but they can manage it. The better way is to have a living trust and have that account in your trust, but keeping it out of the trust is okay for just the minor things.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, good. Because what we found in the ones that I've dealt with is it just made it easier, you know, to get some of the incidentals, that first few weeks of incidentals dealt with. Okay, so let's talk about the big red herring. Probate.
The big red herring is if you have the do nothing plan or you just have the Band-Aid plan, throwing people on title. When you pass away, the first thing is everything is frozen. Bank accounts are frozen. Real estate cannot be sold. You have to have a lawyer to go in, because once you want to sell the house, the real estate agent comes over and starts listing it. And then she goes, your husband's on title. Well, I know, but I can, not your husband, but your mom's on title and she's passed away. I can't sell this house. Well, why not? Well, because it's got to go through this probate process. Well, what does that entail? Well, it's like a 3-ring circus.
Well, and you know what's even worse than that?
What?
Is when you get a inexperienced real estate agent and they come over and list the house and didn't do their due diligence.
Right.
And they think that it can be sold when it hasn't even started probate. And you're looking at a long time before that happens. We're going to continue our conversation with Michelle when we come back. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate current events and the financial markets. You can reach me anytime. Our off-air number, it's 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com, facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, shame on you. You can get your replay, though. Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube. Ron Siegel, the numeral 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Ron Siegel Radio. Your home and mortgage connection.
Is your credit score over 800? Are you living in the home of your dreams or simply where you think you can afford? Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey, and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564. Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? Is your credit score over 800? Are you living in the home of your dreams or simply where you think you can afford? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey, and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
Confused about the home buying process? Or curious how much you really know about buying a home? Take the first Home IQ quiz to test your understanding of buying a home. Created by the nonprofit First Home IQ, this 5-minute quiz will give you a score, what you missed, and why. Take the quiz in 5 minutes at rsrlinks.com/FHIQ. and find out what you need to know about buying your first home. That's rsrlinks.com/FHIQ.
Do you believe Southern California real estate is a great investment? Are you a little short to be a cash investor? Are you missing the Social Security card or tax returns? The Siegel Lending Team has the loans for you. Common Sense Lending is back. Yes, there's a cost to higher risk, but the reward can be great. Call today for details. 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990. Rate subject to change without notice. Licensed by the California Department of Corporations, NMLS 217037 and DRE number 1869452. Are you a veteran, own a home, and need money? The Siegel Lending Team is here to help veterans refinance and get the money they need. The VA 100 lets you borrow up to 100% of your home's value, refinance your mortgages, consolidate credit cards, and lower your payments by an average of $700 a month. And the Siegel Lending Team knows that character means more than a credit score. Call 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990. Rate subject to change without notice. Licensed by the California Department of Corporations, NMLS 21037, and DRE number 018694452. You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio. Or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. And I'm just going to give you a hint in our Borrow Smart segment today, just because I talk too much and we're running a little long and I want to chat with Michelle more. Borrow Smart, brought to you by GetHomeSelect.com, GetHomeSelect.com. Absolute best loan program on the market. You got to get that all-in-one loan. It is very, very good. It gives you the liquidity of your property while having the lowest effective interest rate of anything I've seen. That is Borrow Smart, brought to you by GetHomeSelect.com, GetHomeSelect.com. We are continuing our conversation this morning. We are chatting about estate planning. Michelle Reese-Johnson is with us. AmeriEstate Legal Plan is the name of her company. And we're chatting about trusts and we're chatting about probate. And we haven't gotten through nearly as much as I want to get through today. But, you know, one of the things that's a big issue when we talk about that, like you said, that do nothing plan, going through probate. How long is probate taking right now?
Well, you know, the courts are really backed up. And so
aren't they always?
Yeah, always. It's never, it's nothing
It was
new.
COVID. Now it's, I don't know.
Yeah, it's just to do a simple process. It takes 6 months just to get a court date. And that's not even a probate situation. That is, well, it's like a small estate affidavit. If something didn't get in the trust properly, even though they had a trust, it wasn't titled properly. And even for the attorney to get a court date was 6 months. So with that said, you're looking at probably 18 months minimum.
Wow.
Yeah, because
and expensive.
Oh yeah, it's very expensive, and you have to hire attorneys, and then they got to file all these papers. Oh, they missed it, or the courts get backed up, and it's a nightmare. So you want to stay out of that as much as possible. I mean, there's some things that do happen. People forget to put their assets into trust once they have it, like. They want to do a mortgage refi, and sometimes the lenders make them take it out of trust and they don't put it back in.
So that's a key one. One of the things, and I was wanted to get there with you, is there's a lot of folks that go and try and do the online do it yourself trust.
Yeah.
And I don't know if the number is still the same. At one point, I had been told that it was like 80% of the people that have a trust don't have them funded properly.
They don't, because they're doing it themselves, and there's so many people in the do-it-yourself market now. It's scary, because if you really read the fine print, it says we are not attorneys. This is not legal advice. They just want the numbers. $199, get your estate plan done. But guess what? You're fooling yourself.
You got what you paid for.
You get what you pay for, because it's when things start happening and you don't have the proper documents. You're out of luck.
And that's the whole thing. So what you've basically paid $199 for is a real nice paperweight.
Exactly.
So what, and I see this all the time. So there's two different issues when I leading a lending team, we do recommend quite frequently people take their property out of the trust and for the refinance,
which is fine,
because then you don't have to go through the legal department of the lending company to review the whole trust. But you should have a part of the escrow that's putting it back in as soon as it's done.
Right.
So it's a matter of it's out of the trust for 30, 40 seconds, something like that.
Exactly.
While they're doing that. So if you had a refi done recently and you haven't had a copy of your title pulled, go get a copy of your title and make sure that the title has been redone the way you want it. Protect yourself.
Yep.
Now let's talk about the other part of it, because there's so many people that look at it and say, well, something, I want to do the do nothing plan because it's probably going to save me money in the long run. And I've got a house and I got a couple kids. Give me an idea of the difference between the cost of a trust done properly and probate that is done, hopefully.
Well, probate is based on the gross value of your estate.
Gross.
Not the net, not what your house is less your mortgage, not that meat equity in there.
Not
no,
the delta
it's the
there.
whole thing.
Wow.
So you're looking at there are statutory fees and there's a sliding scale. At the first million is this much, and then over $1 million is this much. So you're looking at roughly about 6 to 8% of your gross value.
Wow. That's going to be just for the probate.
The probate attorney, which
And
includes.
does that include the attorney?
Yeah, it
Okay.
includes everything. Your probate, your lawyer fee, your court costs, your paperwork, the shuffling, the hiring, the court, people that work in the courts, the whole process.
So let's put a number to that, because if we're looking at, I know the median home price in Orange County is about $1,200,000. If we just say a rough number of $1 million and we go on that low side of that scale you were talking about, you're talking about $60,000 for probate, not counting the fact that you're going to be tied up for a year and a half or more.
Right.
Somebody's got to make the mortgage payment during that period of time, and somebody's got to manage the assets or whatever there is during that period of time.
And they have no access to them. Everything's frozen. The banks will just shoo you away. Sorry.
And you
can't get money to manage the house.
And mom's Social Security is gone, because they're going to stop that the day that she dies, and retroactive, they take it away, whatever.
Right.
So you're talking just on that $1 million property, regardless of whether it's free and clear or it's fully encumbered. That's just call it $60,000.
Right.
Now, I don't want to get specific, because I know that when people are coming to you, everyone's needs are different. But can I say it's more or less than $60,000?
To set up an estate plan?
Yes. That laugh tells me it's probably a little less.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Well, most attorneys charge a good chunk because they're usually one-man band. And so they have to, they went to school for it, and they gotta pay the bills.
You're paying for their experience. You're not paying for
their experience.
You're not paying for what they do right now. They're paying for that experience that they've got over the years.
Yeah, and that's fine. That's great. Sure. Absolutely. Just get it done. But, on the other hand, there's companies like AmeriEstate. We've been around for 27 years. We take a team approach to it where we take the attorneys out of the minutia, and we package it up nicely in talking to the client to get their initial information of what they wish to happen. And that goes to the attorneys. We have, through the legal plan, we've negotiated really great rates with our attorneys. So they can do a lot of estate plans and talk to our clients. And so we're able to bring that pricing down tremendously to the end user, which is right around, you're looking at $1,895 single, $1,995 married. And then if you have property, it's about $250 and a recording fee. Done. Everything including, you have your attorney consultation, your notary and delivery in your home, your funding of your assets into your trust, your powers of attorney for health and finance, your pour over will, which is part of a trust. A trust has a will in it.
So for simple people like me, I could say it's less than $2,500.
Absolutely. All done. Yeah. And you've got
versus $60,000.
Yes.
I think that's a no-brainer.
It's a no-brainer.
Okay. And so here's another one, because one of the things my wife and I are passionate about is helping families with special needs. Is there something special that needs to be done in the trust world for that?
If you have a special needs child, you need to have a revocable living trust from AmeriEstate Legal Plan, because our trusts include provisions for special needs always. Always, always, always. A lot of self-help trusts will not have this.
People don't know that they don't know what they don't know.
They don't know what they don't know. And so with your special needs child, if you do not have a revocable living trust, in particular an AmeriEstate trust, because I know what our trusts have, and you pass away and that special needs child is on public benefits to help with their, things that they need, they will be canceled because they're now coming into money. And with a trust, that trust will hold the money in place for them and be managed by somebody else when you pass. So their benefits are not canceled that they get through the state.
And that's a big thing, because the amount of assets one can have is minuscule. I think it's like $2,000 is all that the special needs individual can have. Don't hold me to the number. I'm not an attorney. Neither one of us are attorney. I'm assuming
Yeah.
you're not an attorney.
No, I'm not.
So we're not giving legal advice here. We always want to get that into the program. Now, Michelle knows what she's talking about, but we're not giving legal advice here on Ron Siegel Radio. Got to call and get with the attorneys for that kind of stuff. But you can call and do the preliminary work, as Michelle said. Their team does that for you. And as always, I ask, you can get a hold of us. I can tell you how to get a hold of Michelle and her team at Ameristate Legal. We've got all that. I've got that where you can call us because I know you're driving and you don't want to write the number down right now. But you can go into the show notes. You can look at it's been scrolling across the bottom of the screen, the entire program. If you want to reach Michelle. And as always, we ask, set your first radio preset button to come back here and join Ron Siegel Radio, where we only speak about items affecting your house and your bank account. Thanks to all of our sponsors. A big thanks to Josh and Sean who are engineering us today. And of course, a special thanks to you for spending a little bit of your day with us. That's all for Ron Siegel Radio. Again, if you have any questions or to meet any of our guests, call me anytime, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. And remember, make a lot of money so you can help a lot of people and have a lot of fun. Have a great day. We'll talk to you next time on Ron Siegel Radio.